Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Welcome to Studio Chatter. As you can see, we continue to work from home.
Hi, I'm Stacy Beck. We'll visit with a principal about life without traditional school.
And I'm Angie Murphy. We'll talk with a manager from Chick-fil-A, and I hope he brought us some samples.
And we can hardly wait to visit one of our favorite spas. All this and more coming right up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. It's time for our social distancing rant.
Ooh, it could be a rant about now.
It could be, but we chatted yesterday on Natasha's porch because it was her birthday. And now I feel like
Happy birthday.
Was it my birthday? Quarantine birthday. So it was so nice for you to stop by and to see familiar faces and to celebrate in really kind of an untraditional style. I won't take long on this, but it was so, I mean, we did talk a little bit how it was different. I'm supposed to be on a vacation. We're supposed to be at a wedding. We're supposed to be doing all these things, but instead it was more of a reflection and like, okay, so I've had all these years here, and now once this is lifted, what will I do with the rest of my time? And how have I spent this time? Like, have I spent it wisely? Will I do those things on the bucket list in the future? So it was really kind of nice to just reflect and see, your people who shows up and the messages received, and it was a good day. So
good. I'm glad. How about, because your little guy's birthday was last week, so you can, as an adult, look at that birthday a little bit differently. But what about little Gunner? How did he do?
He fared really well. He had Ryan's World, toys all over the place, and that's all he really cared about. But I did send a message to his teacher and classmates, and we planned the little drive and honk, the little drive-by. So just gave like a 30-minute window. And I drove by, and we had the posters, honk, it's my birthday. And then the sign gypsies came. So we had the big yard signs. And so, people even were dropping presents out the window. And it was a lot of fun. And it's kind of become, I don't know, maybe a tradition with some of the other little birthdays. So the drive-bys, like,
I love the drive-bys.
So you drive by and then you put your little person, outside and they, drive by, honk and help celebrate. So they're doing a lot
more affordable.
Yes, I was going to say
right?
birthday party.
I will tell you. Yeah, the cleanup was way easier. So I'm like, we might have to keep this a tradition. So not bad. And I know that there's a lot of brides even doing that with the drive-by, drop a gift, distancing bridal showers. So it's just one of the...
I'm wondering, like with we had two birthdays too, and one was a 3-year-old, and then my daughter who's 28. And I didn't see a huge difference. Like normally we go out to dinner for the birthdays for the adults, and so this time we were in. But we were able to spend a lot more time interacting, I felt like. And I don't know why, like how much had changed from going out to dinner or being at home at my house and doing it. But we like brought out the yard games and played cornhole. And I don't know, it was really a lot more connecting, I guess. The 3-year-old I felt more bad for, because normally we would go to like the aquarium, we had things planned, and instead it was just one little cousin and then us adults trying to be fun. but it worked, and I don't think he knew the difference. And in years from now it'll be that way. But I wonder, like with graduation and stuff like that, could those graduates stand like 6 feet apart around the school and we do a drive-by? You know what I mean? Like something.
That's interesting you brought that up, Angie, because I've got 2 emails from moms of seniors the past week, from just asking me or suggesting some ideas. Could the city do this? But most of it is like, no, you need to go back to Nebo School District or your high school and do it. But I think a lot of those parents are really brainstorming. So I think we're going to see some super fun, creative things in May. I'm excited, and I think the seniors will feel super special and loved.
I'm hoping so, because we can't have a traditional graduation. Isn't that right, Stace? Okay.
Right.
Just making sure. Huh.
Yeah.
bunch of different
So
stuff,
Angie,
guys.
by the time we film again, you're probably going to be back into the office like normal, correct?
Yes. Yes. So we just heard from Governor Herbert that yesterday he lifted the ban on elective procedures. So now medical and dental offices can do, with their discretion, within their discretion, those elective procedures. So our doctor is taking it nice and slow the next couple of weeks, integrating that. We'll still do all the screening and taking temperatures, having patients wait outside in the cars. So we're hoping to just, keep it really safe while we push back into the normal. But it'll be interesting how, if it impacts us and in which way,
Right.
And I don't know, but it felt good to hear that today. Like, okay, normalcy is coming back. But then I have to actually work my normal hours.
Right. Won't it be interesting when we do meet again, though? It's like we keep taking these things in 2-week increments, right? And in 2 weeks, things are going to really shift again. A lot of places will be open. It'll be a little different and still social distancing. But, the parks are reopening up. Stores that aren't essential will be opening up. Restaurants, boutiques,
Mia's
clothing.
boutique. And
Are you wearing Mia's again?
You guys, I have one more item left, and it's this cute, cozy sweatshirt.
Oh,
and so,
fun.
shout out. I heard it's
27th.
27th.
Soft opening on the 27th from 12 to 4 daily. And thanks, ladies, for the extra gift certificate for my birthday so I can go shopping.
Oh.
I did have something from Mia's to wear tonight, but it was the same shirt that Stacy had worn last time. So I didn't want to copy.
Oh.
and just as a preview to our guest tonight, I had to wear the Chick-fil-A shirt and, in honor of that. I don't know.
So did you get that locally?
I did. So
move your hair back. Let me see it.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I don't want to expose you too much. Is this okay?
That's
Chick-fil-A
diet.
Chick-fil-a diet.
Chick-fil-A diet. That's cute.
Yeah.
Me and Natasha are red card members. We hit that level status. So we'll have to talk to our manager there and see how he feels about that.
Yes. I don't know if we should be ashamed or proud.
I don't know either.
Oh.
I'm proud.
At this point, I'm just rotating like the Chick-fil-A diet shirt, the chips and salsa diet shirt. Like it's just, the pandemic times, we're just eating it all. So may as well enjoy that too. All right. Well, next on Studio Chatter, a good soak and a massage. Take me away. That's coming right up. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Let's welcome Katrina Long and Sam Butler from Summit Spa and Float to our virtual table. We love Summit Spa. How are you guys doing?
We're great. Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, of course. What's going on, you guys?
Hello. I wish I was floating. Float right now instead of locked up. Have you guys been able to see any clients, or how has things been going during all of this?
Yes, we've been able to see clients. We've definitely taken our cleanliness an even bigger, further step. And we are not seeing as many clients as we were before. We usually make sure that we have one person working upstairs, one person working downstairs, and the clients really never usually see each other right now. So, but this time, I think people need worked on more than ever. So we just wanted to make sure we could be able to give that service to people in a safe environment.
Sam and Katrina, before we dive in too much further, tell our viewers what exactly you guys do, what you offer, where you are.
Katrina,
we're located in Spanish Fork. The way we tell people how to find us is if you know where the Carl's Jr. is, we're right by Carl's Jr. and right behind the UCCU Credit Union. And we offer floats, which is not a root beer float. It's a float in a pod full of 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt. So we have 2 float pods. We offer aesthetic, and we also offer massage therapy and body treatments.
And It
So
just sounds
after
also
this
relaxing.
Yeah, after this last month or two, everybody's going to want to dive in and see you guys, whether it's in the float or a good massage or a pedicure. I bet you guys will be busy very, very soon.
Yeah, we
All right.
sure hope so.
Yeah.
We're all turning into hairmongers. Like everybody needs something waxed. Everybody needs to be massaged. Everybody needs a good pedicure.
Come quarantine with us.
We need
Lower
some
than
love
the
instead of some
norm for
distance.
you. So are the pods, the flow pods are up and running?
They are.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And are there any of your procedures needing to change? I mean, because when you massage someone, obviously you're right there touching them. Does that look the same or is that different now?
There's not really anything different other than we're just limiting the amount of people that are coming into the spot at the same time. So that way we don't have a lot of people there at the same time.
Yes, we've always washed our hands before each client, after each client. So nothing has changed that way. We're just happy to see you and ready to work on your body.
So with that shifting a little bit in the coming weeks, so you'll be allowed to have a couple more guests in at a time. Now is probably a good time to also start thinking about maybe Mother's Day as that happens. What do you have available for Mother's Day?
Sam, you want me to do that one?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. So our special for Mother's Day is called the Dreamsicle Delight. So if any of you remember being young and having one of those orange creamsicles that has like the ice cream in the middle of
white
it, and
in the middle,
orange on the outside, yes. So we have a whole package tailored around the Dreamsicle. So there's a Dreamsicle body treatment that starts with a sweet cream scrub on the back and the feet, and then there is an orange tangerine yummy oil that we massage all over your body. You're going to want to make sure you have eaten before you come get this body treatment because you're going to want to eat your body.
Yes.
So there's just the body treatment if you just want the body treatment, but if you want to take it up a notch and pamper mom a little bit more, there's the Dreamsicle Duo, and that includes a facial with the body treatment, and then there's the Dreamsicle Trio, and that's the body treatment, a facial, and a pedicure. And so really you can just kind of go all out and pamper mom to the nines and just make her smell amazing.
Honestly, I think that every mom deserves the trio.
I think we
How
should
long
just
is
send
the
this
trio?
to our husbands and just say, okay, just watch this clip and you've got it. You've got my gift.
Done.
Exactly. So how long of a process? Like if they do a pedicure, a facial, and a massage, is that a couple of hours, do you think?
It is. So the Dreamsicle treatment is 75 minutes long. Then the facial is 60 minutes long. And then the pedicure is 75 minutes long. So you're looking at being in the spa for 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
A pedicure is 75 minutes?
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yep, it is a treatment
Natasha's free
centered
tomorrow?
around your feet.
Yeah.
Hey, it's long enough that we can order you lunch.
Oh, good. Guys, maybe we should do this together when we can be together. We should send our husbands this little clip and just say, "Hey, me, Stacey, and Natasha are already signed up."
Oh my
That's
gosh,
fun.
that just sounds heavenly. And all of these poor moms that have been homeschooling and doing all of these extras could certainly use a little more pampering. So that's exciting. Really exciting to know that you're going to be able to have a few more in there.
You guys have been on our...
I'll go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was just going to say, this is what, your third time on StudioChatter, guys?
Yes.
I think so. Has there been any new services that you've opened up or started offering in the past 6 or 12 months since you've been with us?
We're always adding things to our lineup. We love to do seasonal treatments, and we've had a really good response on most of them. I think our most popular one, though, we talked about with you, the bourbon muscle melt. That one,
yes, I do remember that
so far.
I would say our newest treatments that we probably haven't ever talked about is we do teeth whitening now, and we also do more permanent cosmetics. So we also do the permanent eyeliner, and we do lip blushing, and of course we do the microblading on the eyebrows as well.
Okay, I want to hear.
Those are the newest things.
Lip blushing. Tell us, walk us through that.
you want to talk about it, Sam?
No, you talk about it.
Okay, so it is a form of, think of the microblading for the eyebrows. They're doing the exact same thing to the lips. So they're stippling. Basically it's like a tattoo. So they'll numb the lips, and then they'll do basically like when they do powder brows. So there's a stippling method that they use to push the color into the lips, so it gives the lip a more fuller look. It looks like you have lip gloss on all the time, basically.
It's so pretty.
And it lasts for probably 2 or 3 years. You'll want to update it if you want, color to last. But a lot of people love that one.
Does it hurt worse or less than your eyebrows?
Lips are always sensitive, so I would think it would hurt. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more.
Well, I wonder too with the loose skin if that would be like hard. I don't know, harder to do. But I'm down for pain if it looks pretty. Just wondering, preparing myself.
Well, I have to say that the two of you ladies look refreshed and gorgeous and wonderful. Not like you have been quarantined at all. So I think all of the women are ready to say, help, please help. drop our money and let us in.
We will, I'm ready. Open arms, gladly accept them. Come to us.
I know. I was on a regular schedule with Sam back in the fall, and I need to get back on that because she works wonders.
Yes, I met you.
I highly recommend these ladies. They are so fantastic, and you just walk in, and it's such a soothing, calming spa. I'm so glad you guys are just right here in Spanish Fork, and then so wonderful to just be with and talk to. So I think you offer such a great service, Southern Utah County. And up there in Park City too. So,
thank you.
Ditto.
Well, we hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you in the very, very near future. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you. It was so good to chat with you, ladies.
Coming up next, we'll see how a local fast food business is faring. Stay with us for more on Studio Chatter. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Say hello to Scott Rasbin, the general manager of our local Chick-fil-A. We love Chick-fil-A. And how is the business getting along?
Yeah, we are so fortunate. I have to be really careful how I talk about this because so many businesses are struggling right now. But at Chick-fil-A, specifically in Spanish Fork, we actually had our busiest week. So
ever?
Which
congrats.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Our largest
it doesn't surprise me at all. Every time I drive by, like especially at lunchtime, the line for the drive-through is like clear out into the parking lot over by Olive Garden. Like it's just constant. But I really think, I kept thinking, why is this one so much busier? And then neighboring, fast food isn't. I feel like your fast food isn't really fast food. I really feel like it's healthier, but every time I get exactly the same thing, it's always really fresh, really good. And I love that, the way that your employees treat us, kind of like family. It's just really,
awesome to hear, because where we're so busy, we're just really worried about the guest experience. That's probably the most important thing to us. And that's why we've just shifted all our resources to the drive-through and just making sure we're as fast as possible. So, if you go through our drive-through now, I've got 6 or 7 people outside, taking orders, taking cash, taking credit cards. We actually have outside meal runners who are running food to cars. And so we're just doing everything possible to make it fast. The other cool thing, though, is it seems like the community's been super patient with us. They realize it's kind of a unique time. And so, some of my employees are like, oh, we're sorry for the wait. And they're just like, you know what? We're good. You guys are awesome. And so everybody seems to be really patient right now, even though some people are on edge, but it's actually been a great experience for us. So
I think you're right. That's one of the things that especially moms have always loved about Chick-fil-A, even when the dining room was open, that you felt like you could go into the dining room and the kids were in kind of that safety clean zone where they could play in the kids area, and the tables were always wiped down, and your employees do have great etiquette, so they're always making the customer experience wonderful. So I think that's just the feeling you get then and now, just that it was always clean. It's probably more clean now. They're going out of their way even more. So I think it's just the whole Chick-fil-A experience.
It brings up a great point. Chick-fil-A, I think people trust the brand, and my job as the operator is to protect the brand. They say be a guardian of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
And the things we're doing now to keep the restaurant clean are just like above and beyond. The health departments have come in. They're like, wow, you guys set the example for everybody. I mean, we're doing high disinfecting areas. We're doing outside. We have outside hand washing sink that we just made for our outside drive-through people. All your
Wow.
contactless delivery, so we actually will deliver your meal in a bin. So we're not going to do hand-to-hand contact through a bin. If there's any cash transaction, we have a cash bowl that we put the cash in, so there's touching. So we're taking every precaution that we can, just because we feel it's super important. I'm a guardian of the brand. Also, I need to serve really safe food. That's our biggest responsibilities. Safe.
I know I
wanted
watched
to
you guys integrate that more and more. And when I went to the drive-through the last time, you have someone actually standing out and taking that food in the bin, giving it to us, a cup of straws. I mean, it was just all different types of like initiation that you guys have done to just keep increasing that health and safety. I have noticed that.
Scott, I did want to ask you, with the changes coming up here going for Utah, going from our red to orange zone, what will that look like as it shifts here over the next week?
It's I'm getting so many different comments. There's the CDC, there's the health department, there's the government, and there's Chick-fil-A. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so many different things, and Chick-fil-A as a brand kind of wants to move together. So if the government or Governor Herbert says, hey, let's open up dining room, but we're only going to open the table, right?
Right.
I don't know if that really works at Chick-fil-A. Like, you know what I mean? I would almost rather stay drive-through only until we can fully open. I'm going to do whatever Chick-fil-A asks me to do.
Okay.
But if you think about opening half the dining room at Chick-fil-A and people go in, when we have our full dining room, there's not enough people. You know what I mean? So it could create more problems that need, but so we'll see. It's next step as far as reopen stuff. But yeah, whatever we do, we're going to do it very carefully. We're going to have a plan, do flawlessly, and do so.
Oh, I'm glad I asked, because that could look different. And I wonder if Chick-fil-A will look at it state to state, because Utah does look so different than some of our states back east. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it'll be interesting. A lot of my team members are like, can we stay drive-through only forever? Because
I bet.
like we're doing without a dining room, we're doing the same amount or more in cells. We don't have to clean up after guests, which to do it. We love the guest interaction, but it's a lot of work. And so drive-through only is like a lot easier actually. So.
You should talk to them Friday about just being drive-through only. Just saying, hey, I nailed my cells last week. We're rocking it. We just want to do drive-through.
Right. Well, and the other thing as a business owner, like there's actually government incentives for being partially closed. Like, there's employee retention credits, so if your dining room is partially closed, the government actually funds part of your labor. And so there's a chance like business is actually more profitable if we're closed. Not that I would, I just want to go back to normal and like just
right.
try to be like it was, but there's so many things in play with the decisions we need to make. So it's just really interesting.
Well, we trust that you'll make the right decision with the guidance of either the CDC or Chick-fil-A or whatever. But I think Chick-fil-A has kind of that family reputation. So I think I would be a little bit leery too, just to kind of open it up because little people don't really understand distancing so much. So yeah, you have to take your precautions.
I was like, are you guys going to open playgrounds again? And the answer is we don't know. I mean, we sanitize our playgrounds. We have a company that comes in and sprays it, disinfects the whole thing all the time. But like, those things are in question maybe in the future. I don't know. We'll see where that all goes. That would be the last.
Yeah. Scott, I want to ask you. I mean, these two eat at your place so regularly. I'm sure you do. What would be Scott Razvan's favorite thing to eat and drink at Chick-fil-A?
Well, I'm kind of on a health kick right now, like with coronavirus, swimming a half mile every day for 30 days. That's one of my goals.
Wow.
Oh.
When I eat at Chick-fil-A, I eat a 12-count grilled nugget, a small mac and cheese, and that's my lunch. So it's
You have mac and cheese?
I would have guessed the kale instead of the mac and cheese. Yep. Yeah.
Stacey,
but we trade our toys for the ice cream though. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Like, you seriously haven't had mac and cheese?
No.
Oh my word.
Oh, it's good.
It's ridiculous good. Yeah, it is.
Okay, so before we go off, because now I want to know everyone's favorite, because I think mine is the frozen lemonade. Like, that is dreamy.
And just so you know, interesting fact on the frozen lemonade, the American Fork Chick-fil-A is the highest selling restaurant frozen lemonade.
Wow.
Interesting fact. Angie, what's your favorite thing?
Mine is a 32-ounce Diet Coke with extra ice, and I love on the app that I can add extra ice. That makes me so happy that is a thing. Yeah, and they honestly, like, sipping is great, and Tesoro is great drink runs. Me and my family's favorite Diet Coke is actually Chick-fil-A.
So I think my favorite is the Diet Lemonade with either an 8-count meal or a Cobb salad, depending on the day. It doesn't matter as long as we get to Atlanta one day, huh, Ann?
We want to go tour the facility.
Yeah, we have the invitations, so we'll be there one day.
You can walk the whole corporate office. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming with us and visiting with us, Scott.
Thanks, Stacey. It's my pleasure.
Thanks again. All right. Well, next on Studio Chatter, it's a pretty good time to organize and declutter. That's coming right up. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Is your game closet a mess? How about the rest of the house? Too much clutter? Our resident organizer, Angie, has brought some great ideas to help. Please help us, Angie.
No, I said we're all doing this together, but yes, I've recently been doing some organizing with my daughter, Mallory. You guys know that. But we have a client that has, with all this pandemic, moved to her St. George house for a couple months. And so she's asked us to come in while her house is empty and just kind of revamp a couple spaces. So one of them, like, we've been working on the pantry, and you guys, because everyone's at home, you guys know, everyone's wanting to de-junk, reorganize, and the Container Store, Target, Walmart, all those favorite bins and containers are like on back order. It's crazy. But I'll share with you guys, like, we can talk pantry too. But the game closets, we've been doing the mudroom, and they probably had like 50 games. No, they have tons of games. So we decided, how can we look through this and do this differently? So we started looking online, and some of our favorite organizers had done this. And it was funny. We had started about 3 weeks ago, and it went from like these professional organizers. One did the same thing, and then a week later, the same thing just went down the line. So game organizing is a trend right now, you guys. So do you guys want me to tell you like what we did?
Yes. That was cool.
Okay. All right. So you start with your regular box of a game. Okay. And then you take a cutting board and a cutting tool, and you're going to cut off a piece of the game box. And then you're going to decamp the whole game. So you take the whole game out of the box, you break down the box, you're throwing that away, and you're just keeping a piece of it. And then we purchased these bags on Amazon, and they're $20 for I think 12, and they're all different sizes. You can buy just one size, or you can buy like the combo pack, which makes it a little bit less expensive. But anyway, so you take these bags, you cut out the tag, you end up putting the tag, taping it onto the top of the bag, and then you put the content in the bag. So we just have like the board and the game and the instructions all in there, and then you can zipper it up into this cute little bag, and then you put that bag in a cute little box, if everyone can see that. Now we
Wow,
noticed
that
this
takes up a lot less space.
a ton less space. But we did notice this, that it makes it very uniform and very pretty, which we love that. Aesthetically, it looks really nice. And then we're able to tuck that into the cupboard. But we did notice some of it, we didn't gain a whole bunch of space. We did a little bit, but it's just prettier in the space instead of the boxes stacked clear up to the top of the shelf. Now we have like 2 or 3 inches of room, but not necessarily like creating a whole bunch of more space, but aesthetically super pretty. And then all those yucky boxes that are like all hanging off all over the place, they're taped together, those are gone.
I'm hiring you to come and do our games, because our games are the messy boxes, and like, you know, when you hit the operation box, it's like that are just stacked on top of each other. That's beautiful. Yeah.
And it's just so pretty, guys. I've loved it. Just one thing though, like some of them, there was like 2 games that were way too long, and so we just ended up putting the pieces in a little bag and then clipping it to it. And then those we're going to put in organizer file folders in the closet.
I tell you what, people are so brilliant to think up that stuff, Angie. Way to go. I would have never thought to take my games out of the boxes and put them in a bag.
Never. Well, we saw professional organizers doing it, and so we just kind of rolled with it. And everyone like started saying, like kind of shaming other organizers, like, hey, we saw that on so-and-so's post. And then she's like, if you'd listened to my whole post, you would see at the bottom, I do tag her in it and say, you know, I got that from there. But there's so much out there, guys. Do you have anything that you wanted to share?
Well, no, I just kind of wanted to say, ironically, before this whole thing started, I had some epiphany to organize my pantry. It was kind of weird, really. So I started going through all the old stuff and getting some of the random containers that I really hadn't used before. Everything was just kind of hodgepodge. It really, I mean, it has truly made a difference, though. I think especially during this time, because I made the snacks a little bit lower for the kids to have access to in their own little bins. And if they're, you know, going down too fast, then it's easier to say, okay, I'm not going to refill this one, or things that you're not accessing as much on top. But even the rolling organizers, had invested in some of those. But like you said, I mean, not being able to just pop into TJ Maxx right now and grab a few more containers to organize, that's the tricky part to this, I believe.
It is like we're ordering it and they're back order, or sometimes we can do a pickup and then, but they'll only have 3 items in. It's just a constant battle to try and find products of certain kinds. I mean, like the OXO brand, like that's super popular, but like they're on sale in a lot of places. I think that the stores are catching on to everyone's at home kind of having time to do this. So we're seeing a lot of great deals out there right now too.
So last week I really worked on my pantry, like took the shelves, I mean, not the shelves off, the items that were on the shelf off, scrubbed it down with our care cleaner friends, the vinegar and Blue Dawn dish soap.
Yes.
Sprayed it down, wiped it down. It felt good. And I bet I spent 4 hours just organizing and cleaning, and I only got 3 shelves done. But here are a couple samples, nothing like Angie, but I have this from Target, and I just put all my pasta in it. I will say, I feel like it's just a money spender in a way, because it's not saving room, it just makes it more appealing to the eye. True, pretty, which is nice. And then when we go in, we can, like, hey, there's all the pasta, right? But each basket, you know, you're spending $12 for one basket. You're spending $9.99. Like I got these in, and how cute! All my ramen in this instead of the brown box that I've had for 30 years. Not, you know, how you buy the pasta in the brown box. So this is a lot prettier, but this was $9.99. So you can spend hundreds of dollars just on organizing, just to make it look pretty. So then I'm like, ooh, is it worth it?
But I believe this. I believe that if you can actually see it and it's not in the brown box, I feel like I have that available and I'm accessing it better and making better use of what I have instead of like going to the back. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's in the brown box and how old it is.
No,
and then
I
just throw
agree
it
with
away.
that.
Good to know.
Natasha, a lady's home that we're doing in her pantry, when we took it all out, because that's what we tell everyone at first, you take it all out and you go through it and see what you got there. We threw away a lot of product that was really expired because you couldn't see it. It was tucked in the back. And then, you go and buy more and then you put it down in your cold storage maybe, and then you just forget that it's there. But gobs of different spices. And I think that spices and that kind of stuff is so tricky and hard to keep up to date, because sometimes you just need a little bit and then it expires. And so I was having a hard time because the kind of practical person in me was like, no, we can't throw that away, Mel. And then she's like, it's expired, Mom. And I was like, then we have to buy new. But yeah, I do think that aesthetically it does look prettier, but it also is more inviting to go in there.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I want to cook. I can see those items. It makes you feel a little inspired, I guess, when the space is cleaned up.
I feel like we have so much different food right now. I haven't been to the grocery store in a week and a half. And I told my adult kids, they're 21 and 23, I'm not going to the store till we eat what's in that darn fridge so I can just wipe it out and get it clean. We're down to the bare minimum. And guys, I refuse. I am not going to the store. We have food to eat and we're going to eat it, by darn.
I am so proud of you, Stace. I know we did a little bit of overbuying at the first of the pandemic. And so we're kind of there too. I'm like, okay, Nelly's chili for a little bit. Lots of spaghetti stuff. I don't know. Going on a carb diet. Yeah, I did find something cute on Amazon though. It's starting to get pretty and nice outside. And so I bought sidewalk chalk for my grandkids. And I've always wanted to kind of leave it outside because it's so messy, but I didn't know where to put it. So I found this container and it doesn't sit down, but there's a lid. So it's easy for them to access, but it's watertight and filled. And so I really love that one too. And that was only $12. So I felt like that was a good purchase.
And then you can just keep that in the garage or on your back patio or something.
Yep. Just keeping it on the back patio and it's all filled up, but we don't have to bring it inside. So it's all about containers. I feel like a lot of organizing is recontaining it somewhere.
Good job, Fran.
Best for you.
I love it.
Yep.
Making the best use of your time. That's awesome.
Living the dream.
Well, the change in our school routines has us all a bit frustrated. Stay tuned as we talk to a principal. Welcome back to the Chatter, homeschooling, online assignments. What's it like from the school perspective? Welcome Mike Duncan, the principal of East Meadow Elementary, to the program. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you so much for having me. Good to be on with you guys.
So tell us, how is school? Is it quiet in there right now?
Oh my goodness, it's not anything like we're used to, especially as a principal. I mean, right now it's basically me, my secretary, my custodian, and a few teachers pop in and out every day. But you miss the kids going through the hallway, and it's just very different than what it's ever been before. So
I imagine, are some of those teachers coming into the classrooms, or are the majority of them doing it from home?
Most of them work from home as much as possible. That's the directive we've been given. But of course, they do need to come in at times to get resources and to use some technology in the classroom. Today, I had the chance to go in. One of my third grade teachers had her class on Zoom, her whole class, and I got to go in and say hi. And that was neat just to see them in their own element on their couch or on their bed. So yeah, it's very different. It's unique. But in some ways, it's been a great learning experience and fun to see them in that in their own environment. So,
right.
So, Mike, when you started, I mean, this came on fast. Didn't they announce it on a Friday after school had already been let out?
Yeah, I believe it was on. It was like March 13th that the governor said, you know what, we're gonna have a soft closure of schools for 2 weeks, and that was that was pretty. We scrambled a bit, but we as principals we had a meeting that Friday night that went all night long. Our district leadership just did a great, not all night long, but into the night.
Right. Yeah.
And then I have to give mad props to our digital coaches in Nebo School District that met throughout the whole weekend. And we came back on Monday. Teachers had 2 days basically to learn how to use Google Classroom and Seesaw and upload, content, because on Wednesday they started, and it was crazy. There was some learning curves for sure, but after that first week or so, we got underneath us. It's gone much smoother. So,
wow. Yeah, I have been so impressed with all of the teachers and the educators that are still prepping and preparing, and I'm probably doing more in a lot of regards, because to prep that and to get it online into the classroom and to get it on Zoom and get all of those materials uploaded. I mean, I have always said I could never be a school teacher. Certainly we've had to take on that role a little bit, but I feel like, I have 2 little ones. I have a 3rd grader and one in kindergarten. And as much as I know they miss the school and their friends and their teachers, and for a lot of these little students, it's a safe haven for a lot of different reasons. Are the teachers, I mean, what is it like on that side emotionally? Because, I mean, that's their 9 months out of the year, these little people, they're educating and relying. Is it sad for them also?
You know what? That is probably one of the biggest things I've taken from this is, teachers say how much they love their kids, but I have witnessed teachers in tears missing their kids. I just had 2 in here the other day, and they said, you know what? I said, give me your take. They're probably going to ask me what you're feeling about this. And they said, well, we want to keep it positive, but I didn't go into teaching to do it online. So I did it to be with kids. And I've heard that time and time again. These teachers just love those kids, and it's just not the same at all. And to your other point, one of my favorite Facebook posts I saw was, all right, teachers, we get it. Give us the vaccine, right? Like, we understand what you go through now. So
100%.
That's a good one.
I had a little experience too. So my son's in high school, and so they're doing all that on Canvas and everything. But we're getting several emails from the teachers and different correspondents, which is great. And then we got an email, and it was titled, "This is positive, I promise." And it was from one of my son's teachers. And I was like, oh boy, okay. So we read through it, and he just said that in the classroom, he had not been able to connect with my son the same way that he has online. And that he was so impressed with some of his responses, because normally he's more shy in the classroom. And he's like, he is one of my top students in his responses. And so it was just, I don't know, in some ways, it has just been really refreshing and really a unique experience to see like how the students may thrive differently in different environments. And that it's more of an intimate connection, I think, that they're making in some regards, even though we're not face to face.
Yeah, absolutely. There's kids that have thrived in this better than they have in the classroom. But it's been neat to see the responsibility the kids have taken for their own learning. It's really up to them in so many ways. And that's been a bit of a challenge, because at the start of this, the teachers were told to push out content that was more of a review, so that kids didn't have to, because they didn't have a teacher right there sitting with them, right? So then after it went a little bit longer, we had to eventually start teaching new content, and that puts parents in a bit of a hard spot to now be the one that, after the lesson's been given, you're the one there with the kid. And, so that's been a little bit tricky to know how much work to give out, because you'll have parents that have 5 kids at home and parents that have 1 kid at home. And so you have to, that's been a fine line, balancing how much is too much work at home, how much is the right amount of work. And I don't know that we'll ever get that right. It depends, from household to household. But you're right. There have been kids that have really thrived in this setting. It's been fun to see those kids kind of.
Well, and I give kudos to you guys for making that transition to them. I think that was my point in it, is that they're reaching out to their kids, as if they were in the classroom, and it's making a huge difference.
Yeah.
How, I'm sure you've had this question also, but how do you think it will impact? I mean, they have already said there probably, or I guess that there won't be end of year testing. So how do you think they will measure the success, either at the beginning of the school year next year or maybe end of year this year?
Well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of end of year measurements happening, but I will tell you this. This is my 8th year as a principal, my first year at East Meadows, but the district has come such a long way with having measurements for reading and math. And so we're very confident that we'll be able to get an accurate measurement once they come back. Also, one neat thing about this is the state and federal government is putting together some funding for it's called CARES funding, and it's for a summer bridge program so that we can bring in teachers and or technicians to with some identified kids and give them extra help once that's an okay thing to do, I guess, once the governor opens things up a little bit more. But so we'll have funding to be able to catch some of these kids up a little bit so the slide isn't so drastic, I guess. So
That's good to hear. I'm glad you shared that with us.
Yeah, again, just so impressive for all of the educators.
May is usually your busiest month of the whole year, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And you're about to start in it.
Yeah, I usually can't breathe right now. And it's like, I mean, seriously, May is every day there's 12 events going on. And it's like, wow, it's just different. It's in some ways I'm like taking a breath. Like I need to try to just enjoy this as much as I can. But at the same time, I miss all the traditions and end of year parties like that.
Yeah, will they be able to do a sort of graduation, like 6th grade graduation or kindergarten or the program?
Yeah. It's funny, we talked about that today in our principals meeting. It'll probably be something virtual, maybe a diploma, something online. We're toying with that idea. One thing we are doing and several schools have done is a teacher parade. And so I know some schools in Spanish Fork have done those. East Meadows, we're doing ours May 13th from about 10 to noon, where you put one teacher in each car and you drive through the neighborhoods and wave, and the kids are out on the sidewalk. So that'll be fun. And there's other schools exploring other ways to do that. But yeah.
I love it.
Oh, Mike, good luck. We could really talk to you for a full hour and ask you. There's so many positive things, but then there's a lot of hard things too. So we wish you and your teachers, not only at East Meadows, but throughout the district, the very best.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I need to give just props to the teachers of Nebo School District. They have just stepped up and hit a home run. So thanks to the parents that have, you've been flexible and, just been great through all of this. So we live in a great community, a great district. So it really has been neat to watch. So.
Well, best of luck, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the fall then.
Okay, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you later.
There's more Studio Chatter coming right up. We sure do live in a great community. What did we learn today?
Oh,
so much. It was, and I realized that I do love Chick-fil-A just as much as I thought I did, or more. And Scott is a terrific person. He really is a really great guy. I love me from Chick-fil-A, and I've built up a lot of rewards over the past month. So I'm going to go get me a new Diet Coke, free one.
Well, it made me realize on that interview that I need to eat something more than the grilled chicken sandwich and French fries. I'm not kidding. I think that's the only thing I've ever eaten there.
Okay, you really? Need to try. Their salads are good, and the grilled nuggets are good.
Have you ever had the breakfast though?
Yes, okay, amazing.
So I love the breakfast. So I'm all about the egg white grill too. So if you've never tried breakfast there, Stace, there's a different take on breakfast because it's grilled.
And then chicken minis. Chicken minis I love, and I feel like it's kind of like a chicken nugget meal, but I love it so much. These little mini biscuits with a chicken nugget inside. Oh, they are delicious. So yeah, love Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay, good to know. I really liked meeting Mike from East Meadows Elementary. Just listening to him, talking from the school's perspective. I bet those teachers are really having a hard time without the kids. What a difference. You would think that they might be singing hallelujah, but they're really not.
I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's probably both. Probably there's ups and downs for both the educators and the kids. I mean, I know that we've done a couple of porch drops for our teachers, like just dropped a couple of gifts on their porch to just let them know that we appreciate them as much as, you know, there's kind of that yin and yang. I think that they really do miss and care for their students. I know Gunner's teacher, even she came to the drive-by and left a little balloon gift too. So I mean, it's nice to see their faces, and I think they have real, you know, love for those kids.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Such a big, huge transition for them. And I think that all of our teachers and educators have done such a terrific job. I can't even imagine going from one day and then 3 days later having to restart how you teach. And they did it with, I think, such grace. I think all of them have done a super great job. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only the preparation, but then uploading it to an electronic format so they can access it. One of my best friends is a school teacher, and I had to pick something up from her porch one day, and she's like, well, you can only come this time, or just leave it out there and don't try and like wave to me at all, because I'll be recording something for my students. So
Right.
they have to have their away time now too to get all of that prepared. So I'm sure it's a lot of extra work for them.
I talked to Mayor Leifson about that last week. His wife is a kindergartner teacher at Hart Elementary, and he said that she's actually busier now than she was, and she's a kindergartner teacher, so that's 2 groups of 20 kids. So 40 kids. She reads them a nighttime story sometimes. Just, I mean, the things that she's doing. He says, yeah, she's so busy, and she's retiring this year. She does not get to say goodbye. One thing I've learned about through all of this, everyone is sacrificing something, whether it's a birthday party or a wedding or a vacation or your retirement. It just really touches your heart that celebrations are super important to savor life, to celebrate life.
Absolutely.
Well,
on that note,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yes, to celebrate. Oh my gosh, I think that we should all go check into the spa and treat ourselves.
I wasn't kidding when I said we should sign ourselves up and then just tell our hubbies, like, just pay for it. We're good.
Yeah, you guys, they're awesome. Make sure you go down and visit them. You won't be disappointed.
I did buy Mal a gift card for that for Christmas. We had her and she wanted a pedicure. And so I decided to try down there, and she loved it, loved every minute of it. So yeah, I need to go down and do it.
And especially Mother's Day, oftentimes it's hard to think of a gift that maybe our moms don't have. So Mother's Day, but another great idea for Mother's Day. Remember our guest, Katie, from our last episode and our high-low journals? So she was so sweet and gave Angie and I a journal. Natasha already has one. But I started mine on Sunday, and it was just so fun to hear everyone's highs and lows for April 2020. That's going to be so epic in a couple of years, isn't it, to look back on and just see that. So again, you just write your high and your low, and then it has a question on this other page for everybody to answer. So it's super fun. I love this week's question. It was, what's the first thing you look forward to doing when you wake up in the morning? So I love it.
Well, I have to start everything. I'm like that person that has to start a diet on Monday. And so I'm going to start my journal on the 1st of May. I'm just weird like that. So I can't wait. And it'll be interesting because it's me, Rhett, and Bo, but then sometimes we have everyone down. And so I think that's going to be a good time for us to connect with those married people too. And have time to chat. I'm excited. So thanks to her. That was super kind.
That was kind. Thank you, Katie.
Yes, we continue to enjoy ours, and I'm incorporating a time capsule with ours for the kids for this year in particular, so that maybe we go bury that and dig it out in 10 years or something. So it will be fun.
That's a fun idea.
Reflect.
Yeah, that is.
All right, ladies, do you think we're going to be in person next time? 2 weeks.
I hope.
I think we can do it.
I think even if we social distance like we did before, just maybe in the same room, but 6 feet apart. I don't know if our producer loves that idea, but
we'll see what producer Pete says, but I think we can twist his arm. I'm sure we can.
If it's not against the law, we will do it.
There you go.
We'll be in not our nighttime sweats. We'll be in our day sweats or something. Social distancing.
That's gonna be tricky.
It was great to see you ladies, Pete. It was great for everyone else to join us. Please stay safe, stay happy, and thanks for watching. Goodbye, everyone.